He had a speech called the drum major instinct. And in this message, he points to the dangers of insistently needing to be acknowledged by putting down other people. He says that people are saying that I want to act like a drum major and it's all about me. And he says, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being a drum major, because by the end of this speech, he says, if you're going to say I'm a drum major, say I'm a drum major for justice. Say I'm a drum major for righteousness. He says that if you're going to say that I'm a drum major, understand that the drum major instinct in this speech, he says it's one that will allow us to excel at the expense of others. And he says that in order for us to be able to do this, we got to make sure that we're not excluding others. That there are stories to tell, there are pains and hurts and habits and hang-ups, there are things that shape people's lives. And Jesus says, you need new wine, but don't ever move forward at the expense of damage your credibility because you do damage to the past. Dr. King says that if you're going to say I'm a drum major, say I'm a drum major for justice, because the thing about the drum major instinct is that if it goes unchecked, it will destroy old wineskins. The thing about us, human nature, I can talk about, I know you because I know me. We're all the same. The thing about us is that if I can get as much new wine as I can, I will oftentimes, if I don't go checked, do it at the expense of damaging the past. That in order for me to come up and blow up and be everything that I want to be in life, come on now, it's human nature that I will do damage to my own credibility because I'll do stuff and say stuff and exclude people and not listen to the stories and the voices of people. That's what's so beautiful about this church. That's why we say everybody's welcome. Age, gender, race, sexual orientation. Everybody belongs in Jesus' church. Well, Pastor, what if they don't believe like us? Well, where else are they going to go? I know that's uncomfortable, but it's the truth. And Jesus says, as you're shifting, don't do damage to the old wineskins. Dr. King said there's this instinct in all of us that when we want to excel, our natural instinct is to excel by excluding. He says if that goes unchecked, we will be the type of people who will be damagers of the carriers of grace, that every single person that you meet is made and formed and shaped in the image of God. And I don't have the right or the authority to do damage to God's image because I exclude you or I refuse to listen to your story. Jesus says, new wineskins, put it in there. And I couldn't figure out what they did with the old ones, but it doesn't matter what they did. I know what not to do. I know what not to do with your story. I know not to dismiss you when you say that somebody harassed you. I know not to dismiss you when there are voices and stories in this community and in this country and in this nation, in the history of African Americans. I know I don't always know what to do with it. Come on now, sometimes those things are complicated. Sometimes I don't always know what to do when I hear these stories. Come on now, sometimes it's confusing when I hear stuff on the news and news media tries to get me to believe one way. And sometimes, come on, let's be honest, it's confusing. And I don't always know what to do with what you're saying, but I know what not to do. I know that if I'm going to be a carrier of grace, that I cannot destroy those who have also been carriers of God's image.